Today we will make a light roux to make a basic white sauce or bechamel, which is one of the 5 French mother sauces. The roux is just a cooked mixture of flour and fat used as a thickening agent in soups and sauces. It's very simple to make, and if we use 2 simple tips, it will turn out perfectly each time. So let's get started making the basic roux. Into a pan, we're going to melt 2 tablespoons of butter. Tip 1 is to use equal parts of melted butter to equal parts of flour. So we have melted the 2 tablespoons of butter. Into that we're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour and begin to mix together. Continue to stir over medium heat to get the best results. Don't worry if it looks a little bit clumpy. This process will usually take about 2 minutes. If you feel like your roux is getting too brown, then turn down the heat a little bit. Remember, consistent stirring. Kind of gotten bubbly and foamy. We're going to cook for 1 more minute. Now that we have the roux, we can move on to making the bechamel sauce. One of the keys to a smooth sauce is adding hot milk. Add 1 cup of hot milk, whisk, incorporate the milk, and then add the rest of the milk. As this cooks, it will continue to thicken. The key is to continually whisking around. Don't worry if this takes longer than you think it should. It will thicken. Once it becomes bubbly, I switch back over to a wooden spoon because it's nice and creamy. There's no clumps. You can see that the bechamel is thickening up and it's coating the spoon. At this point you can add some salt, pepper, any other seasonings, a bay leaf, paprika. Now my sauce is almost to the desired thickness, so I'm going to turn off the heat. If your sauce becomes too thick, you can always add a little bit of milk, about a tablespoon at a time. To the bechamel sauce, I have added 1 pound of cooked sausage, and we're going to plate this up for biscuits and gravy. You can see it's just the right consistency for gravy. So we have our basic white sauce or bechamel and biscuits and gravy. The second sauce that we'll be making from our bechamel is a Mornay sauce. It is basically our classic white sauce with a white cheese. I'm going to be using Parmesan. I've already seasoned the salt with salt and pepper and a little bit of nutmeg. To that I'm going to add about a half a cup of Parmesan. You can add more to taste. Stir until that's blended in. Taste and season. This sauce is really good over pasta. So as you can see, we have our second sauce, a Mornay. Our next sauce is a Soubise. It's a sauce with onion and tomato puree with the white sauce as a base. The sauteed onion goes in first, and you can puree the onion, or you can not for a more rustic taste. You're going to bring that up to a simmer, and then add the tomato puree. And for this sauce, I like the white sauce to be a little thicker because you're going to incorporate that tomato puree. Now I know I'm breaking some cooking rules, but I like to add just a little bit of sugar to anything that's got a tomato base. Let this simmer for a couple of minutes and then pour it over some roasted vegetables. So I'm going to add the sauce. to the roasted vegetables. Into the bechamel, we're going to add 1 cup of cheddar cheese. I also have a little bit of smoked Gouda. Stir until that's melted. And this will make our cheddar cheese sauce. You can add some salt, bit of pepper. I like this sauce to be a little bit thinner because we'll add the macaroni to it and it'll absorb some of the liquid. So when it's your desired consistency, add your pasta. Oops, my kitchen, my mess. Basic creamy cheddar cheese sauce. So what we have here is 1 mother sauce, the bechamel, and 4 little babies. We have the basic white sauce for our biscuits and gravy. We have the Mornay for our Alfredo. And we have the Soubise for our grilled vegetables. And then finally a cheddar sauce for macaroni and cheese. If you want to watch more cooking how-tos, look for a card up here about cooking eggs.